resource management, and it's cited as a developing story, which then tells us that it was a circulating that was then taken from the social media platforms, and then that's what yes.
And that those are social media, come from social media.
Platform social media that are written by people.
And you don't know
do you perhaps know, or do you have an opinion as to why Mr. Mokhotsi and Mr. Matlala would be so interested in the PKTT and you specifically? Because there are many of these documents that are shared between them and they relate to the PKTT.
Yes.
Do you have an opinion or do you have personal knowledge?
Thank you, Commissioner. My opinion, as I've indicated before, that we noticed this trend soon after the disbandment letter on the 31st. There was this increase on stories that are written containing negative facts or negative or wrong, false allegations around the political killings task team, as well as the project leader, which is myself. And even when we analyze the activities by the same individuals, after we analyze their communication before the letter, and after the letter, one can draw the conclusion that it was an effort to give the reasons for the letter that came on the 31st with all these negative made-up stories afterwards.
I want to ask you a follow-up question. I mean, I don't see any discussion between the two individuals about GCI ops, but I see there's various chats relating to the PKTT. Are the activities of GCI ops generally known to the public?
As I reflected on my testimony on the fact included in my affidavit that the GCI Ops is a covert or counterintelligence project that is not visible to the public. That is why then when the information was leaked that there is a support that is brought to GCIS, to GCI Ops from the political killings, then because political killings is a known structure, then one will think that that's why then the attack was directed to the political killings task team. Hence, that makes us to conclude that it was a mistaken identity. Also, the other fact is, if we look at the screenshots of covert or classified information that was shared between the two individuals soon after the letter of disbandment, then it shows that the information leaked that it is in fact the GCI Ops that is responsible. Hence, then there was a campaign to leak everything that has to do with this covert project that was dealing with the cartel. So, but the clear campaign was in the form of misinformation was directed towards the PKTT, the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, who happens to be the project leader also of the PKTT, as well as the division itself, whatever that is happening within the division, because the leader of both will always be part of the misinformation. If something is happening within the division during that particular period, it will still make sense for it to be spinned around, because whatever picture is painted for the leader, it automatically transfers to the PKTT. Whatever comes from the PKTT, so that was the triangle between the two gentlemen that were also very vocal before even the letter of the 31st from the operation on the 6th, the 18th, the 19th, the exchange of video footages as a proof of harassment, and so all that then give us the view or the opinion that the two gentlemen were part of the pre-activities, hence then the post-activities, it's with regard to this misinformation that they are sharing between them. Thank you.
Thank you, General.
Ms. Hassan, are you moving off this long text, chat?
Yes.
Okay, can I just ask my question then? General, in the last paragraph, just before developing story, there are two parts there to this. There's the first part, which is that President Cyril Ramaphosa and GNU parties have asked the ID and iPad to probe the National Commissioner and yourself. Is that fact? Was there such a request from the President and whoever the GNU parties is referred to there for such a probe?
No, from our understanding, thank you, Commissioner, from our understanding, there's never been any formal notice with regards to this investigation or probe that is reflected on this media article.
All right. And the second part, it says this comes after the Portfolio Committee on Police opens cases against Crime Intelligence Head, and that Crime Intelligence Head is you. Has the Portfolio Committee, as a committee, opened a case against you?
The only fact that can come closer to that line is the knowledge that a member of the Portfolio Committee on Police did open cases against senior officials in the division, including myself, around the same period.
Yes. So an individual member of the committee, but not the committee itself.
Yes,
is what I'm trying to find out if it's correct. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hassan.
Thank you, Commissioner. So as I understand you, General, this goes to your theme of the conspiracy to disband.
That's correct,
The social media posts.
That's correct, Commissioner.
So moving on, then we get into these, there were some phone calls. Can we take it from there? Middle of the page.
Thank you, Commissioners. Then the last part of page 63 reflects the calls. All three of them are made by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mokgotsi on the 22nd and 23rd. On the 22nd, it's around 15:58, and then the following day, another two calls, then around 10:16 and 10:55. of which then at 12 midday, Mr. Mokgotsi then responded with a call to Mr. Matlala, not a call, but a message saying submitted, I'm awaiting confirmation. And then the next message still from Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, reading I see, on the 23rd, still around 12:34. Then there was a message then on the 27th now, around 16:17, from Mr. Matlala, which was deleted. And then on the same day, around 16:17, a message from Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, written, wrong man. And then same time after that, then a call from Mokgotsi to Matlala. And around 16:31, a message from Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, which reads, don't mention. And indeed, then Mr. Matlala acknowledged at 16:31 by a message written, sure. The last call on the 27th between the two gentlemen was around 16:32, which was from Mokgotsi to Matlala. And the following day, the 28th, around 23:21 at night, there is a call from Mr. Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, followed by a message from Brown Mokgotsi reading Boso. And then on the same night, there are 3 calls that are made, or attempts that are made by Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, up until
Jimmy, pause you. So the 3 calls were made at 23:24, 23:29, and 23:30 respectively. So quite late at night.
That is correct, Commissioners. Then the following day, again at night, 20:15 on the 29th, the message from Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, the meeting was positive. And then on the same day, at 2019, Mr. Matlala is sending a message to Mr. Mokgotsi, reading, is he willing to help you guys? Then the response at 2023, Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, I just wish he could help with a statement, I should speculate. Then on the same day, 2023, Mr. Mokgotsi follows up his message above with the message, I think he needs cash.
Do we know, if I pause you there, do you know, is he willing to help you guys? Wish he could help? Do you think he needs cash? Do you know who the he is in those messages?
For now, one cannot be able to explain that until we take another 3 to 4 messages, so as it can be clear to the Commission.
Please proceed.
As to why we...
Related to that, General, the meeting referred to, the meeting was positive. Were you able to establish what meeting this is referred to and with who?
From that message that says the meeting was positive, we are reading it together for analysis purposes and also based on the information that we have on our investigation as the continuation of that discussion and the question that follows. The meeting was positive, and then the question from the receiver of information is he willing to help you guys? So we are reading it as then a follow-up question on the status report of the meeting above. And then after the question, and then we are reading the next two messages as talking to what transpired during the positive meeting.
And you say it will become clearer as we go through the
Yeah.
next few messages?
Yes, Commissioners. And then the next message on the same day, now it is from Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mokgotsi, which is after Mr. Mokgotsi has sent a message. I think he needs cash, and then Mr. Matlala then is responding, okay, arrange with Khan to give him cash if the information he has is worth it. And then after that, there is a call then at 20:43 from Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala.
So before, I think it moves on then to a different issue,
Yes.
or maybe not. I just want to know if, is this the point where you want to pause to try to explain if you know who the he is and what the meeting was about?
No,
Or do you want to continue?
No, we are not yet at the part where
Not yet.
one can link this particular conversation with text of the period or in the context of events as they were unfolding from the meeting around the same contract on the 24th, which resolved to the conducting of internal audit around this contract. So this communication was talking to the same issues that were part of the internal audit investigation. That will take us to still the same email to page 67 and up to 68. Then after that, then the sender of this screenshot, Mr. Kat, is calling then Mr. Mokgotsi on the same date, firstly at 10:58 and then secondly at 11:24, with Mr. Brown Mokgotsi calling back at 12:29. Then still on the same date at 12:31, Mr. Mokgotsi is sending a screenshot of his communication with the number saved as Senzo Mchunu. The screenshot, the communication is between Brown Mokgotsi and the number saved Senzo Mchunu. It is talking to the beginning of the message, which is sent by Brown Mokgotsi to a number saved Senzo Mchunu, but it's screenshotted and sent to Mr. Kat Matlala. It reads, "Morning, Minister, in
General,
Durban."
just before we go into the body of the text, so this message was sent to Mr. Matlala 30 January 12:31. And then I just wanted you to, before you go into the body of text, there's a date above the text, before it says Morning Minister. Is that the date
The date
on which Mr. Mokgotsi communicated with the person he calls minister?
That is correct, Commissioners. The date that is within the screenshot is the date the message in the screenshot was sent by Mr. Mokgotsi to the Minister, which is Sunday, the 26th of January. But the screenshot is sent on the 30th, so around 4 days after the communication.
Thank you. You can now go to the body of the text.
And the message reads, Morning Minister, I'm in Durban and can confirm that they got nothing on Phoenix Saga, and our contact says they could not even go to any bank. By the way, the girl is also here. Then it continues.
Do you know what the Phoenix saga was?
No, that's negative, Commissioner. We do not know.
And do you know anything about the girl, the person described simply as the girl?
No, we know nothing, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And then the next paragraph it reads, tomorrow we are signing the practice notes on the North West PEC matter for the SCA in Pretoria with the Senior Council. The matter will be a month from tomorrow. That is the second paragraph on this communication.
Do you know what matter that is?
No, also we do not know what the matter around the signing of practice of practice notes. We do not know. And then the next part then talks to the briefings. The first briefing, number 1, it talks to the business women who would like to assist our program, also participated in the BRICS cybersecurity, is available to meet with the minister. Apparently you did meet before. Same applies to that number 1 under briefing. We do not have an idea or the whole information beyond that, what is written there. Then number 2, the guy of the funding 20 is also in Johannesburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has 3 billion contract with SAPS. Again, on number 2, although it can talk to some of the charts that we have been going through, but its accuracy is not 100%. If it's referring to Mr. Matlala or any other person. Then the next point under briefings, number 3, or it's just the last paragraph, it says, also meeting with the DNC and COS today in Durban for finalization of Kumalo and Mkwanazi matters. Then the next message, or maybe let me pause there, Chair, and say, according to our analysis of that, it talks to the General Kumalo and General Mkwanazi in terms of the communication charts that we have been seeing between, especially the two, Matlala as well as Mokgotsi. Then the next message that is forwarded, still sent by Mr. Mokgotsi to the minister, and then a screenshot to Mr. Matlala. DNC is waiting for the COS here. This is very significant. Our interpretation is the DNC is the short weight of Deputy National Commissioner in the SAPS, and the COS is a short weight of Chief of Staff. And then
the two generals referred to there, would that be you and the provincial commissioner, or would it be different people?
That is correct. If we look at the events starting from the 31st, the signing of the letter, as well as the misinformation. The misinformation would always have those two names or one of those names. We can even refer to the Constitutional Court case, where the talk is, according to our understanding, it's talking to the Kumalo, myself. Hence, then we say we can deduct that the Kumalo and Kwanazi referred to are myself and the Provincial Commission of KZN.
And the matters of these generals referred to, do you know what those matters are?
We cannot exactly point out, Commissioner, as to which matters there were. During that period, there were a lot of matters that will be discussed within that space.
Would matters possibly even mean issues, not...
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
And then at the end of those messages, then the response interpreted as from the number saved, Senzo Mkunu, response is don't unnecessarily. So that will be the end then of that screenshot that was shared by Mr. Mohodzi to Mr. Matlala. Then on the same page 70, we are now moving on with the communication starting at 2037, still on the 30th of January, with Brown Mohodzi indicating to Mr. Matlala that they just left the Lekgotla, and we are not aware or sure as to who is he referring to by saying they. The response at 2039 on the same date, Mr. Matlala is asking...
But the word Lekgotla, what is it ordinarily used in relation to?
If my common knowledge serves me well, we normally see the word associated with government meetings that are sometimes referred to as the whole.
Is it not usually used in relation to cabinet?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Did you perhaps try to find out whether there was a Lekgotla, a cabinet Lekgotla in that period?
No, not yet.
In the analysis?
We have not yet followed that part of the investigation. Then, moving on the same date at 2039, Mr. Matlala is sending a message to Mr. Brown asking, so what's the plan? Should I make my way there or what? With the response from Mr. Mohodzi, I'm waiting confirmation, and thereafter the next communication is on the 31st of January at 10:07 in the form of calls, and another call at 10:42, another call at 11:04 on the same date. All those calls were made by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mohodzi. Then on the same day, around 11:05, there is a message that is sent by Brown Mohodzi to Mr. Matlala, reading Chief of Staff. And then the next message then from Mr. Matlala to Brown Mohodzi on the same day. It reads, please arrange meeting as soon as possible. I think they are escalating the matter to him of non-performance, or rather, let me meet you and you will explain it to the minister. The interpretation of the message together with the email that was then forwarded, or that was from the division human resource management of SAPS, that was talking about the non-performance of Mr. Matlala's company, then we are using it as a reason for this message that Mr. Matlala is sending to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, thinking that they escalate this matter to him, thinking that they, the human resource management or the SAPS, they escalating this matter to him, this matter of non-performance, or rather, let me meet you and you'll explain it to the minister. So the interpretation is the escalation of this matter to the minister. Then the next screenshot is sent by Mr. Brown to the Chief of Staff on the 31st at 12:34 to a number saved as Senzo Chief. Hence, then we are concluding that is the Chief of Staff in the office of the ministry, because of how the number is saved, Senzo Chief. Then the screenshot, it is for the screenshot of the same letter, parts of the letter that was sent then by Division Human Resource Management to Mr. Ket Matlala. This screenshot is now forwarded by Mr. Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, which is then followed by...
So just to pause there, General, just to be clear, this is the same letter, this letter that it seems Mr. Mokgotsi is sending to this person, is the same letter that's on page 66 of the chats.
That is correct, Commissioners.
You can see that it's the same. It's part, yeah.
But the difference is, it is now the screenshot which shows that this letter was somehow received by the Senzo Chief was once received by a Senzo Chief. Now, the same letter now is a screenshot that is sent by Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala. Then on the next page, Mr. Brown Mokgotsi is sending his screenshot of his chat with the Chief of Staff as a proof of escalating the matter to the minister, as it reads: "This matter may be escalated to you because of non-performance. Our guy needs your intervention. January 8 guy, who is about to take over our program. This non-performance is as a result of non-payment or late payment." Then the next message reads, "I am sending him your numbers that you meet, please." So the screenshot is sent to Mr. Matlala by Brown Mokgotsi as proof of the matter being escalated to the Chief of Staff.
So your interpretation of our guy in that message is Mr. Matlala?
That is correct, Commissioners, because he's the only guy or a person who is part of this non-performance and reviewing or reviewal of the contract.
And then he says, I'm sending him your numbers that you meet him. And then it's followed with,
Just before you move on to what follows, do you have any idea, General, as to what our program is? The sentence that says, January 8 guy who is about to take over our program. What program is that? And what does taking it over mean?
Yeah, looking at the previous charts and the involvement of Mr. Matlala, the January 8 guy might be referring to him, who is about to take over our program. That can relate to any program within maybe even the political space of the ministry. That can also be, if I may add, because we saw on the previous charts where there were discussions around the payments for the membership in regions. So hence then one can associate the program as with a political program of some sort.
so in the then the next thing within the screenshot is, I'm sending him your numbers that you meet him, please.
Yes. Then I'm going to explain that further after going through the next two messages. Then the first one, still on the 31st of January at 12:35, then Mr. Brown Mokgotsi is sending the number of the Chief of Staff as we know it, 08260490.
No, you don't need to read out the number. But it's at the bottom, that first message, the one that says begin V card.
Yes.
There's a number at the bottom of the message, of the contact that's being sent.
Yes.
The cell number. And you confirm that that cell number
Yes.
belongs to the Chief of Staff.
Yes, Commissioners. Then we are linking that message that is sending the number with the message on the screenshot above that talks to, I'm sending him your numbers.
Yes.
Then the next is a message again from Brown Mokgotsi, sending it to Mr. Ket Matlala, but it is addressed to the Chief of Staff. The message reads, hello, Chief of Staff. Got your number from Mr. Brown. Requesting a meeting, please. I will try my best, Commissioners, to interpret this so confusing charts. We read it together with the screenshot that was talking to, I'm sending him your numbers that you meet him, please. And thereafter, it's the number that is sent by Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala. Then next is a draft message drafted by Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala to send it to the Chief of Staff, addressed to the Chief of Staff. That is the interpretation of that whole, looks like confusing charts on page 72. And then after that, then Mr. Mokgotsi is sending a message now, please talk to him. The him then is interpreted as the Chief of Staff. Then the next page, 73. Still on the 31st at 12:39, a call from Mr. Mokgotsi and another call from Mr. Mokgotsi at 13:40. And then Mr. Matlala is returning those calls then on the same date at 13:40. We then move to another breaking story, which is a screenshot of a story or a screenshot that is now forwarded, sent by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mokgotsi. The screenshot, it's about the breaking news. Police witnesses changed their statements. The story is about the case that was on during that time within the SAPS, more specifically the Division Crime Intelligence, where the story was alleging that the witnesses in that departmental case against Major General Firoz Khan of Crime Intelligence deliberately changed their affidavit in exchange for promotion. So the story is alleging that the chairperson of that departmental case, which was the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Nkwanase, has approached the witnesses to change their statements to ensure that the findings during that hearing will be against Major General Khan. And then it goes on then to say Nkwanase was appointed by...
General, before you go on, when was the hearing? Do you know when that hearing took place?
The hearing, I do not have the exact date, but it was around the same period or week the message was sent, around the beginning of February. So that was then another news or misinformation that was circulating then on both the print and social media.
So, and was this the hearing that General Nkwanase testified to in the Commission?
That is correct, Commissioners.
And the outcome of the hearing was contrary to what he said in this?
Yes,
paragraph.
the outcome of the hearing was contrary to what the story is pointing towards.
Because
Which was,
just if you remind the Commissioners what the outcome was.
the outcome was Major General Khan was cleared of any wrongdoing, which is contrary to what the story is projecting. Then the response by Brown Mokgotsi after receiving this screenshot from Matlala is disappointed.
Sorry, General. Your name is also mentioned in this this post or this article, and it refers to first that the Provincial Commissioner was appointed by you to chair that departmental hearing. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioners.
It also talks about you and General Nkwanase conspiring against high-ranking police officials. You see that paragraph, the third from the bottom. Do you want to comment on that?
That paragraph from bottom.
Yes. Of page 73.
On page 73, Nkwanase and Khumalo, who are long-time friends from KZN, and they meet regularly, monthly, where the two conspire against high-ranking police officials to have them removed with false cases from their positions, which allow them to appoint their own puppets to the set positions. That is the paragraph that talks to what I explained, that the misinformation was preempting the case the departmental case that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was going to be the chair appointed by myself. So that paragraph is summing up the unfounded allegations that the appointer and the appointee, definitely they are going to make sure that the affected employee then will be dealt with the other way round. Whereas then, that's when I said then the outcome then came opposite to what the misinformation note was preempting. But also, if I can touch on the other paragraph on page 74,
Yes.
just to show the continuation of this misinformation that started from the 31st of December, that in any misinformation, there should either be a General Khumalo, a General Mkhwanazi, and a political task team, even if it's irrelevant. Because if you are writing a story, the headline talks to a witness change statements for a promotion. It talks to the witness of a disciplinary case. But then towards the end, there is irrelevant. I will say irrelevant because of the heading. Now, because in this story, there must be something that talks to the political killings task team together with the two generals.
And you're referring specifically to the paragraph
The
saying,
second paragraph, maybe let me start
the
reading.
one a police
from-
brigadier in the finance department, is that it?
Yeah, maybe let me start reading from the first paragraph. The witness also revealed how Mkhwanazi, the chairperson of the departmental case, will not allow Khan to have any representative present during the departmental trial and will be dismissed, which is totally contrary to the police regulations. And then a police brigadier in finance department at the police headquarters in KZN, who asked not to be named, explained how Mkhwanazi had quietly funded Khumalo's political task team with KZN funds. That is just an example as to how misinformation and fake news will be created as if they make sense, because it is known, and it has been known since the establishment of the task team, that it's funded from national level. Now, if we may recall, this is happening after the disbandment letter. Now, anything that will be negative around the project leader and the provincial commissioner, then who is where the project is, then will have to be painted with all information, negative information that will support the decision to disband. One can interpret all this information around these names as well as the political killing task team as an effort of wanting to provide the reasons afterwards of the decision to disband. And then the response
You can go to the response, yes.
response by Mr. Brown Mokgotsi after receiving this message is as read, that he is disappointed. And then on the same day, on the 2nd of February, Mr. Mokgotsi is writing a message to Mr. Matlala, saying just have to leave everything, have without A. On the same date, then there are two calls that are made by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi at 12:27 and 12:28. And then Mr. Brown responding after those missed calls with a message, small session with lawyers to Mr. And then to Mr. Matlala. Then Mr. Matlala, after receiving that message on the same date at 12:28, is sending a message to Mr. Mokgotsi, written or read, "This is in your favor. Actually, it disrupts their plan against Khan." Now, that message can be maybe clearly understood if read together with the fake news or the misinformation story that I was explaining with the sender of that story, indicating that this is in your favor. Actually, it disrupts their plan against Khan. Then the response from Mr. Brown Mokgotsi to Kat Matlala says, "Maybe, but that is not my plan." And then Mr. Matlala responds, "I thought you the one who published the story." Interpreted that message as if it's talking to the misinformation on the story that was forwarded or sent to him. Then that is followed by a call from Mr. Brown Mokgotsi and another call from Mr. Matlala to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi. Then on the 7th, after that, or in the morning it's that call, then in the afternoon, Mr. Brown Mokgotsi is sending another breaking news. Now it's Mokgotsi now sending breaking news to Matlala, whereas the previous one, it was vice versa. This breaking news talks to the NPA ID Guns for National Police Rock Unit. The heading talking to the NPA Investigative Directorate ID, raiding National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula and National Crime Intelligence Head, Lieutenant General Kumalo, offices after serving them with notices of arrest. This comes after an investigation lodged by Parliament Police Portfolio Committee. The heading itself, Chairperson, shows towards the misinformation, looking at the mixture of processes and the understanding itself that there are lots of, starting with the breaking news, NPA ID Guns for National Police Rock Unit. This is how the PKTT was known after the disbandment letter. Now the first heading under breaking news is talking to the Rock Unit, which is PKTT. But then the heading itself, it's totally different. It's talking to the ID raiding the office of the National Commissioner, offices of the National Commissioner and my office after we were served with notices of arrest. And it's on record, even public record, that I was never served with the notice of arrest, but I was arrested without being served with the notice that the breaking news story is referring to.
But your arrest was 4 months later.
4 months later.
And it was not because of a complaint by the Portfolio Committee, because the heading says following a complaint lodged by the Portfolio Committee.
Thank you, Commissioner. It is for that reason that I give the response that the arrest 4 months later might be related to the story that is made in February, because the complainant on the case is the member of the Portfolio Committee, but not the Portfolio Committee on Police, but the member. Then It was a developing story. There is a paragraph that I want to refer the Commission on, which is in line with the, not the narrative, the picture that one has been painting of the happenings after the 31st of December. The last paragraph on page 76, it reads, an investigator states, the National Commissioner was very nervous and appeared to be shaking when then, of course, his office was raided, which did not happen. He then blamed the collapse of crime intelligence at the hands of Lieutenant General Khumalo and KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. It's another example as to how the misinformation will go, how far the misinformation will go in trying to put issues or names that are not supposed even to be together in that story. If you read the fake news from the beginning, it talks about the Khumalo and the National Commissioner served with notices of arrest, and the name of Jam Mkhwanazi is nowhere from the beginning. But then at the end, it is then included so as then the mission can continue, the mission then of misinforming the public. Then after that misinformation that was shared by Brown Mokgotsi, maybe then commissioners, if I may add, the interpretation of that misinformation to illustrate as to how during this period from December 31st, how a fact can be changed to suit the misinformation that needs to be pushed. The correct information is, it was during the same period when the National Commissioner was served with Section 205 for submission of some official documents to the ID or IDEC for their investigation. So it was during that week or those days when the National Commissioner was submitting those documents that were requested by IDEC. But it is not talking to the raiding of offices and arrests. Then after that, we see the call from Mr. Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala on the same day, the 7th of February, 1736, followed by, after that call, it's followed by a message from Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, trying to correct the misinformation that he has shared already, saying it's notice of investigation instead of notice of arrest. And then next, it's J175, which is the notice to appear at court. It's following. And then Mr. Matlala is asking, as he's always confused when it comes to this, the terminology around criminal justice system. What is J175? There was a time when he was asking us, what is it that you are sending me? Even now, after receiving this lecture on these 2 points, he is asking, what is J175? And then the lecturer, Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, is responding at 1741 that J175 is a notice to appear before court. Then still on the same day, at 1742, Brown Mokgotsi is now sending the full the full lecture on Mr. Matlala around this J175 and procedures, talking to all different types of summons. Then on the 19th of February, which is a couple of days after the lecture, then Mr. Brown Mokgotsi is sending a message to Mr. Matlala, which reads, "My brother, I have a small problem, in brackets, regional meeting, which I have to cater, in brackets, 12K, tonight in the Eastern Cape. And I am aware that I have not been instrumental so far. I'm also worried that my guy and Khan recorded your man, in brackets, Maluleke, without our knowledge. Besides things are going well against Khan. May you please assist. We are now at the last stage to be stable." That's a long message sent then on the 19th by Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, touching on almost everything that they've discussed before.
But, so if we could just pause on that for a moment. The first part of the message is asking for money for a regional meeting in the Eastern Cape.
In the Eastern Cape now.
Asking for money. And then the second is saying, second aspect of the message is saying, I'm aware I've not been instrumental. I'm worried that my guy and Khan. So can you just explain that part? Who's my guy? And do you know what they're talking about?
Commissioners, we cannot confirm currently as to who is referred to as my guy, but then the Khan will take it that it's the Khan that has been appearing on the previous charts as Major General Khan, who was busy these days with his disciplinary hearing.
And who's your man? Do you know anything more about that?
No, Commissioners. We do not.
And do you know how we to understand the sentence, besides things are going well against Khan?
Looking at the period when this message was sent, as I've indicated, Commissioners, this was during the time when the departmental case against Major General Khan was ongoing. So one can then associate that sentence with the disciplinary hearing if it says things are going well against Khan.
Does it mean that when it means things are going well, is it going well, is it going in someone's favor? That's what it means. It's going in one person's favor.
That is correct,
One faction or
Commissioners. It might be interpreted as if things are going well, it means are going in favor of Khan, which will be contrary to the misinformation, long misinformation that was concluding that things are not going to go well.
Okay, you continue.
So before you continue, General, what have you understood where Mr. Mokgotsi says, I'm aware that I have not been instrumental so far? And what are you saying we should make of it, if anything?
In my opinion, Commissioner, looking at the period and the events around Mr. Matlala, the events around Mr. Matlala started on the 6th of December 2024, during his first encounter with the political killing task team and the GCI ops on the 6th. And then it is from that day when the issue of the tender that ended up being investigated, that it came to the fore from the 6th of December. And also there were lots of other happenings. We're coming from the IP story when the two gentlemen were trying to manage one of those happenings, one of those issues, the attempted case application at the High Court for that was also then withdrawn at the last moment, and then with a lot that happened in terms of the charts and happenings that led to the letter of disbandment on the 31st. So one can deduct that the only issue that was still not finalized, although even the first one, it was finalized because the letter disbanding the task team was issued, so -1. Then the issue that was still ongoing.
Although, of course, the target was wrong.
That's correct, Commissioner. Then the other issue that Mr. Matlala will expect Mr. Mkhosi to be instrumental will be then the halting of the process that was unfolding by then of cancellation of the tender. It was during that time when the internal audit investigation was ongoing.
And I'm saying the target was wrong in accordance with your thesis. I'm not stating that as a fact, General.
Noted, Commissioner.
Thank you. General, then there was a call from Mr. Mokgotsi, and can we take it from there?
Thank you, Commissioners. Then on the same day, the 19th of February, at 18:13, there is a call from Mokgotsi as well as that was the last call and communication then during February. Up until then, the 4th of March at 8:02, where Mr. Dlamini is, where Mr. Matlala is making a call to Mr. Mokgotsi, which is followed by a WhatsApp message at 8:20. The message sent by Mr. Matlala to...
This, just to be clear, this is a message that was forwarded by Mr. Matlala.
Mr. Matlala is forwarding the message that he received, but he is forwarding it to Mr. Mokgotsi. The message reads thus: "Good morning, Minister. I just received a call from our guy, who is a service provider for our health risk management project. He has got very serious concerns. Apparently, you gave a directive to scrutinize his contract, and while they at it, they must stall as much as they can to release purchase orders until you guys come up with something that can warrant termination of services." This is the message as forwarded from Mr. Matlala's phone. Is forwarded to Mr. Matlala, and he is forwarding it further to Mr. Mokgotsi. The message talks to someone who addressed the message to the minister, indicating or discussing the issue according to our interpretation of the message. When it talks to our guy who's service provider for our health risk management, that is Mr. Matlala himself, the one who's having a contract with the South African Police Service. The contract is on the health and risk management. And then it's talking to what this person is concerned about, that it is the minister who gave a directive for the contract to be scrutinized. And while it is being scrutinized, and then the further directive was that they must stall, which is SAPS. SAPS must stall as much as they can to release any purchase orders, or in other words, to process any invoices until then the internal audit investigation, or until, according to the message, there are reasons from the report to terminate the contract.
General, you say from the metadata you can see that this was forwarded to,
That is correct.
to Mr. Matlala.
That is correct, Commissioner.
And Commissioners, it becomes clearer as we go to other chats where it comes from.
Then moving on to page 78, on the 7th of March, which is few days after Matlala forwarded that message to Brown Mokgotsi without any response. And then on the 7th, Matlala is making a call to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi at 1808. And then only on the 12th of March, Mr. Mokgotsi is trying to send a message, or sent a message that was later deleted. And then the next message on the same day, more or less the same time, Brown Mokgotsi is sending a message which reads, "Hope you saw this." And then Mr. Matlala is responding with a phone call after that message. And then Mr. Mokgotsi on the same day, then after that call, is sending a message to Mr. Matlala, which reads, "My brother, you lost hope on me, right? I need to bring witnesses to one place. Would you assist me?" Then that message sent by Brown Mokgotsi to Matlala at 14:57 on the 12th. And then Mokgotsi is following it up with a call at 15:06 on the same date, and another call at 15:28. Then a call now from...
Sorry, General, just before you move off that message, do you have any knowledge of who the witnesses are or what he's referring to there?
No, I do not have any knowledge, Commissioners.
Continue.
Then the last activity on page 78, it's the call by Mr. Matlala at 15:29 to Mr. Mokgotsi. And then on the same day, around 15:43, Mr. Mokgotsi sent a message to Mr. Dlamini, a very short message which reads, "I need 10K. Then on the same day, around 16:03, Mr. Matlala is responding to the message sent, a short message sent by Mr. Mokgotsi with a very long message which reads, this relationship should not be one-sided, brother. I asked you several favors which are not even money related, but none of them have been attended to. The last one, it's even worse because it's even orchestrated from your camp and nothing has been done about it. I have played my part and was even willing to stretch my arm even further, but I see none of my efforts are considered. A long response by Mr. Matlala after a short message by Mr. Mokgotsi of needing just 10K, then the response is so long. Then another short response from that long message from Mr. Mokgotsi in one word, true, might be interpreted as the whole story that you narrated is true. Then,
Sorry, General, before we move off the message, the long message. I've asked you several favors which are not even money related, but none of them have been attended to. The last one, it's even worse because it's even orchestrated from your camp. Do you have any idea what that is? Is the last one referring to the tender issues? Do you have any knowledge of this?
according to my view and following the communication chats between the two gentlemen, talks to the one remaining issue that if you read this message together with the previous one, that was talking about the minister being the one who instigated that the Medicare 24 contract be investigated in a meeting. And then coming fast forward to this, where Mr. Matlala is showing some signs of losing hope that Mr. Mokgotsi will assist. There's been lots of attempts with the messages, even the roping in of the Chief of Staff to also escalate the matter. So, according to my view, this message is talking to all those failed attempts to halt the investigation and the possible cancellation of the contract.
So then Mr. Mokgotsi says true. And then there's silence for a few days until the 17th of March. You can take it from there.
Yes, after the true short response on the 12th, then there is silence up until the 17th of March with Mr. Matlala initiating communication with a phone call at 21:51, followed by another call on the same date at 21:55. And then at 17:04 on the following day, then the message from Mr. Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala, reading as follows: I'm here to clarify that story. And then the response in a question format by Mr. Matlala, what story? And then the short response on the same question by Mr. Mokgotsi Mkhwanazi at 17:09. And then at 17:10, Mr. Matlala is responding, I thought you said it was sorted already. And then Mr. Mokgotsi responds, yeah, but now it's becoming official. Then the next message on the same day was serious, my boss, but spelled as C-R-U-S. And on the same day, 17/11, the message again from Mr. Mukhosi to Mr. Matlala, which reads, "Give me wings." And then on the same day, more or less the same time, Mr. Brown is sending a message to Mr. Dlamini again, since 17/11. Mr. Mukhosi has been sending messages without any response up until that fourth message that says, after "give me wings," the next message is "Khan is more helpful." Then also, before any response, the next message, which is the fifth message from Mr. Mukhosi to Mr. Matlala, it says, "is hard." And then the response is coming then after all those 5 messages from Mr. Matlala. It says, "Okay, hope for the best." And then Mr. Mukhosi is responding then after that with a "ha ha ha." After that, it's "okay."
Okay.
That, which is spelled O-H-K. That is page 80.
So General, before you move on, so who is the Mkhwanazi here being referred to?
The communication as well as the messages exchanged between the two gentlemen will then point to the same names that are always part of their discussions, or even part of the misinformation since the 31st of December. Mkhwanazi, according to my opinion, will be referring to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, Provincial Commissioner KZN.
So earlier on in the chats, when we were talking at page 65 of the chats, the exchange that said the meeting was positive, is he willing to help you guys, I wish he could help with a statement, I think he needs cash, etc. You said, when I asked, do you know what this relates to and who the he is, etc., you said it would become clearer. Is it at this point that things become clearer, or are we going to get there a bit later on in the chat?
Commissioners, if we can continue, and then one will give then the response on that towards the end of this chat analysis that will talk to that specific part.
And so you can proceed.
Then moving on to page 81. On the 22nd of March at 12:16, the last communication was on the 18th. Then on the 22nd, Mr. Brown Mukhosi is sending a message to Mr. Matlala, "My boss, pulling something this side. I am stuck," with an emoji. I'm not sure whether it's laughing or crying, between the two. Then the response from Mr. Matlala reads, "Pulling what?" And then the answer from that question from Brown Mukhosi, "Some dirty work." And then the response from that, it's in the form of another question, "Dirty work where?" And then the response again from that question is "North West" from Brown Mukhosi, and then followed by further illustration of that answer by same Brown Mukhosi, more or less the same time after the Northwest response. We are appointing a provincial commissioner this Tuesday. Maybe one can elaborate there on that. That was during the week or the weeks where the post of the provincial commissioner of Northwest was advertised, and then the process of appointing was indeed taking place. Then we move to the last
Just
part.
to be clear, is the provincial commissioner of subs.
Provincial commissioner of the subs. Then on the 23rd, or same day, or no, on the following
Chairman,
day,
if I may just interrupt, that we are appointing a provincial commissioner this Tuesday in Northwest, was that in fact what happened? Was there an appointment of a provincial commissioner
on the
in that period?
Thank you, Commissioner. As I've indicated, one cannot be specific in terms of the day, but it was during the period when the post has been advertised, and then there will be processes. Post will be advertised, and then it will be processes up until the appointment. So the communication is during that timeline when the post is advertised.
Is it fair to say Mr. Mokgotsi could have been referring to the province when he says we? He may not have been referring to him specifically. So it says there, we are appointing a provisional commissioner this Tuesday. That we could refer to the Northwest province. It's possible.
It still might be possible, Commissioner, because of the use of we, but SAPS is a national department, and the post of a provincial commissioner advertised by SAPS, the whole process takes place at national, not at a province. According to the current policies, there will be engagement with the premier of the particular province towards then the finalization of the appointment process.
Thank you.
I mean, maybe for your comment, it seems to me, and tell me if you think I'm stretching it. If you start reading from, he's pulling something, and then he says some dirty work, and then he's asked dirty work where? He says Northwest, we are pointing. So he seems to suggest he was involved in some capacity towards the appointment of the provincial commissioner through the dirty work that he says he's pulling. Is that a fair summation of these emails or WhatsApp exchanges?
Thank you, Commissioner. Indeed, if you read the exchange of the question and answers, you may not be wrong if you read it as it means that in totality, because now the pulling something this side to what? Some dirty work, where in Northwest we are appointing the provincial commissioner. If that can be read in one sentence or one paragraph, it is possible that it means what the commissioner was citing. Then moving on the same page, the last communication on page 81, still on the following day in the morning, 8:58, Mr. Dlamini is sending a News 24 story with his photo and the story is about, maybe if I read the first part, the National Commissioner, I'm reading the first part. The National Commissioner, I'm not reading the titles underneath the photo. I'm reading the first part of the News 24 story that Mr. Matlala is sending to Mr. Brown Mukhosi. The National Commissioner, Fanny Masimula, has been ordered to terminate the controversial multi-billion rand contract to provide health.
Million. Not billion.
The multi-million rand contract to provide health risk management services and institute a forensic investigation against the supplier. On the next page, continuation of that News 24 story. This follows after an investigation into awarding of this multi-million rand contract to a company owned by a Tembisa Hospital tenderpreneur, Vusi Matlala, uncovered several irregularities. In June 2024, Medicare Tshwane district, of which Matlala is the only listed director, was awarded this 360 million three-year contract to provide these services.
The General, I don't think we need to read
Then-
the whole article,
Then-
but what's clear is that there are screenshots of the article that are sent over the next several pages, and which takes us, the last bit of the article is on page 89.
Maybe if I can start with the part that will be relevant for our understanding on page 85.
Yes.
The probe into the tender followed a request by the Police Minister, Senzo Mchunu, after news of contract being awarded to the controversial business person emerged. I'm reading that part on record because it talks to one of the charts that Mr. Matlala had shared with Mr. Mukhosi, suspecting or indicating that this investigation and cancellation of the tender is coming from the side of Mr. Mukhosi. Then moving on to page 89, the first message, still on the 23rd of March at 9. Mr. Matlala, who sent this News 24 scoop or story is following it up now with a WhatsApp message which reads, "This was done under the minister's instructions, but it's okay. I'll see where to go from here, but I am not taking this lightly." That is the message then that made me to want to read that paragraph on that News 24 story, so as then we are able to understand this chart now by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mukhosi after sending the news article. Then after a few days, on the 26th of March, there is a call from Mr. Mukhosi to Mr. Matlala at 1938, and then from there, that was March 26. The next communication by Mr. Matlala to Mr. Mukhosi is almost a month or more, or close to 2 months after, with a greeting message at 10:38. "Good morning, how are you?"
On the 8th of May.
On the 8th of May. And then the response, few minutes after receiving that message, Mr. Brown Mukhosi responds, "Sure, my boss." And then Mr. Matlala responds at 10:54 by the message to Mr. Mkhotsi, I wanted to ask you something. And then on the same day at 10:56, Mr. Matlala is sending a message then to Mr. Mkhotsi. I hear that you told Mr. S that I told you that I gave him some animals to keep at his plot. So I wanted to hear from you if there is any truth in this. And then after a week or so, then on the 14th of May at 6:53 in the morning, again, Mr. Matlala is sending a message without receiving the response yet on the message of the 8th. Now it's on the 14th morning, just to let you know that my contract was cancelled yesterday, and I see you have been ignoring me and promising me things that never happened. Luckily, took screenshots of every conversation just in case something like this might happen. I'm taking all this to the media and some to court on Friday when I do the interdict. That will take us to page 90. After that message, there is then an attachment as attached as Annexure BM7 that Mr. Matlala is sending to Mr. Mkhotsi.
And that annexure, Commissioners, is at page 161 of 161. BM7, 161.
Is a person's hands. Number one,
The letter of demand. The letter of demand.
is there more than 161?
No, go.
You're too far. Yeah.
There's another 161. I think they're divided under WB1 and WB2. So before you get to WB2, the tab,
Found it, thank you.
thank you. So this is BM7, which is called Draft Letter to SAPS National dated 13 May 2025. Do you have the letter there in front of you, General? No, it's just before the tab that says WB2. Just before that? Page 161. That's right.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. The letter attached as BM7, it is a letter with the head directed to the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service with the heading Termination of Contract following the award of bid number 19/1/9/1/94 in brackets 23, the appointment of a service provider to render health risk management to the South African Police Service for the period of 3 years.
Okay, so this is a draft letter prepared by the attorneys for Mr. Matlala,
How do you know it's a draft, Ms. Hassan?
because it says so at page 90 of the chat, Commissioner Kumalo.
The reason I'm asking is because it's signed, so I'm wondering if you go to 163, bottom of the page.
Yes, I see that. I see that. So firstly, it says draft letter in the attachment. So that's the first thing. And then I think will also becomes clearer when we go to other chats, because this letter is circulated a couple of times by others as well. But it's correct that it is a signed letter.
I'm concerned that parties to the chat may not understand the difference between a draft and, but yeah, let's leave it there.
Well, it's definitely a letter that is signed, but Mr. Matlala refers to it as a draft letter. I don't think we need to go into the letter. It's clear what it is. It's a response to the cancellation. General, if we can take it then from the next message.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Then the next message on the same day, on the 14th of May at 7:07, Mr. Mkhotsi is responding to the message or notice of cancellation of the tender that Mr. Matlala shared it with him. Now he's responding, especially also after he has seen the draft letter as another proof that it has been cancelled. Then he's asking, cancelled, and then followed by another message after a minute where Mr. Mkhotsi is saying to Mr. Matlala, this is the right time to know the truth, because you are now going to cite the minister, right? You will see his affidavit. Then the next message again after 2 minutes from Mkhotsi to Matlala, it reads, this is the time every must show his side. If the minister or officials are involved. That is the message at 7:11, the morning of the 14th. And then the same day, 7:15, Matlala is responding to the 2 messages from Mkhotsi. His response is as follows. But you know he's involved. I told you from day one, I'm not waiting for any lies anymore. By Friday, if they don't withdraw, I'll also hit back, and I'll hit very strong. Then the response from Mr. Mkhotsi from that not so nice message, it's very short, I don't think so. Then on the same day at 7:23 in the morning on the 14th, okay, was just letting you know, don't be surprised when you see it in court papers and the media. I'm not going to be taken for a ride. Then moving on to the next page, which is the last page of this set of communication chats between Mr. Mkhotsi and Mr. Matlala. On the same day, the 14th, Mr. Mkhotsi is responding to the previous message. He says, I am going to raise it with him too. And then the response.
Do you know who the him is?
Yeah, following the latest charts where there is a discussion around the cancellation of the tender, Mr. Matlala Mr. Matlala suggesting that it is the minister who instructed the cancellation, then I'll say the him might refer to the Minister of Police. And then after that message at 7:38 on the 14th, which is saying I'm going to raise it with him, and then Mr. Matlala is responding with a show, a finger, a hand and a finger, responding that he understands the response.
So it's an emoji and it's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Oh, okay, that's a correct word, Commissioners. Thumbs up. Emoji. I did not finish my
It's not
lecture.
the other emoji with the finger.
The lunchtime lecture was not enough for me to be taken through the emoji class. Then, still on the same day, at 8:30, Mr. Mokgotsi is writing a message to Mr. Matlala, which reads, "We can't lose a contract, whereas so many people are looking for tenders." That was the last message that was sent by Mr. Brown Mokgotsi to Mr. Matlala. The last message talks to the last topic of discussion, which is the contract that was cancelled by SAPS around those days or a day before. The last communication is on the 14th. The contract was cancelled on the 13th, and Mr. Matlala was arrested by GCI Ops on the 15th.
On the 14th.
On the 14th. That's why the charts are ending on that date.
Thank you. Now, General, there were some strands and conclusions that you wanted to bring together. One of them relates to the page 66 exchange, not page 65, 66, and there were, you said you would come to it later. Do you want to deal with that now?
Yes, I can, Commissioner.
You can take your conclusions in whichever order you'd like, but perhaps we can start with the one that you said you'd park until the end, which is the relating to the meeting, which was positive, etc.
Thank you, Commissioners. The charts around those days and times between Vusi Matlala and Brown Mokgotsi suggests that Mr. Matlala seemed to have a special relationship with General Khan in reference to the charts that we have seen between Mr. Matlala and Brown Mokgotsi, especially in discussing with Brown Mokgotsi around some guy who they needed a statement from. And Mr. Brown Mokgotsi suggesting that the guy needs cash in order to cooperate. In the conversation, Mr. Matlala suggests that Mr. Brown Mokgotsi should talk to Khan to give the person cash. In the message that read, okay, arrange with Khan to give him cash if the information he has is worth it. That is the discussion that was happening during the times of the disciplinary hearing case that was ongoing or taking place. Furthermore, Brown Mokgotsi on the discussion around Mkhwanazi and that the matter was now official, Khan is more helpful. That was another time during that time of the case, and the chart that talks to it will firstly, what was captured as a discussion was the case will go against Mayor General Khan. But then towards the end of that part of the discussion, and then after the meetings, after the whole discussion, and then that picture changes. It talks to now things going very well on the case against Khan. We are having that conclusion because it was during that time exactly when the disciplinary case was on. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, General. I'm aware, do you have a question, Commissioner?
Yeah. General, you described the relationship, what you say that appears to be a special relationship between General Khan and Mr. Matlala. Now, for us sitting here, the name Khan appears suddenly in these chats without any background to it. And even later on, I mean, I see it for the first time at page 66, unless I've forgotten an earlier page, and then later on in one or two chats. In your analysis of this and your further investigation, have you come upon anything that you will be speaking to us later? And I know you're going to bring an application in camera. I just want to, when we leave this room after this mentioning of Khan, that there's a sense whether we're still going to hear more or this is it, without disclosing anything that you think would be inappropriate to disclose at this point.
Thank you, Commissioners. I can confirm that there is other evidence that is intended to be tabled in camera that will then that will then make the picture that we have since painted on this relationship, special relationship, to be more clearer.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Just before you go, on page 89, General, the penultimate chart on that page. This is a WhatsApp from Ms. Matlala. I hear that you told Mr. S that I told you that I gave him some animals to keep at his plot. Do you know who's the Mr. S referred to in that chat?
No, not yet, Commissioner.
Well, the not yet is a bit confusing. Does it mean that you will know at some later stage? What does not yet mean?
Thank you, Commissioner. The analysis and investigation is an ongoing process. Hence, then, on my proposed application, I indicated that if it happens that the investigation is at a particular stage and the evidence that will be included in camera might then be brought back in the public platform.
And do you know anything about the animals referred to?
The animal referred to as impala, according to my view and my understanding, it's an animal that is normally procured for very high profile social gatherings, which is not that affordable. That is my...
I'm asking specifically because, yes, there was mention earlier of impala,
Yes.
but here there's just reference to animals for Mr. S to keep on his plot without mention of what the animals were. So that's why I'm asking what the animals were.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. I was understanding the question of the animal associated with the impala that came before. The same response on this, if it's the animals associated with Mr. S referred to on this message, the investigation and analysis is still ongoing. As soon as it's ready, the Commission will be updated.
Thank you, General. Thank you.
General, you were asked earlier by the chairperson with, I think this was about the chats, about I'm here and Sibia is here. I can't find the page. I've been trying to find the page. I don't know if you remember the chat, and the chairperson asked you, do you know who is Sibia? And you were cautioned not to speculate. Does the answer that you've given about S, which is still the subject of investigation, does that also apply to that question that you were asked? I'm told it's page 44, if it helps. Yes, in the middle, where Mr. Mokotsi says, I'm in Cape Town, Sibia is in Camps Bay. You see that? And you were asked, do you know who is Sibia? And your answer was no. And what I'm checking with you is whether your answer is an outright no, or is it also subject to the subject of further investigation, as you have answered with that S.
And if I could just clarify, the question
Please
was,
go ahead and, yes.
was from, I was going to say from the bench, but from the commissioners, whether you know as a matter of fact, to answer as a matter of fact. So it was in that context that you responded. You may answer the Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioners. Not as a matter of fact, as it was captured during the initial discussion, but analyzing the whole communication where the surname Sibia comes, then we're moving it from from almost all the parts where there is Sibia, it will refer to the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Sibia. Same applies to the Camps Bay Sibia that is referred to.
So can I ask one follow-up question? Do you know or do you have any basis to say that Mr. Sibia was in Camps Bay at that time?
Yes, we have the indication that is subject then to confirmation to make it a matter of fact.
Thank you. Chair, I see it's 4:02.
Let us adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning.